And to start this ALDS episode, look who won the batting title. Sam Basallo, the batting champion of the American League. How about that? 305. It's not the craziest batting average to win the batting title, but how's that for a Rookie of the Year campaign? It'll be hard to say that he's not the Rookie of the Year. Freeman wins the NL batting title with only a 317 batting average, so they moved the mound down to improve the offensive environment, and we win the batting title with a 305 average. Make that with what make of that what you will. I'm gonna film this and edit it back to the beginning of the video because we are going to go over league leaders. We already know about Samuel Basallo, who led the league in batting average, but Brent Rooker with a very impressive season for the A's, 55 home runs, 137 RBI. He absolutely led the league in home runs, RBI, and of course in slugging percentage as well. 1 point over Aaron Judge. Him and Aaron Judge, the only two men in the American League with a slugging percentage over 600. Judge still the only man over 1,000 in OPS. Colt Keith led the league in hits. Torkelson leading the league in batting average. The Tigers showing off very impressive offense in the regular season. Bobby Witt leading the league in WAR. Anthony Volpe with 6.3 WAR. I kind of doubt we'll ever see that in real life. But you know what? Hopefully, as a Yankee fan, hopefully we do. Holiday coming in seventh for runs. Henderson coming in sixth for doubles. We're on a ton of leaderboards here. Unfortunately, we're all over the caught stealing. We're also all over the stolen base leaderboard, though. A give and take. Tristan Casas, who the Red Sox traded away at the deadline for no reason, even though they were a playoff team, leading the league in walks. It gets more questionable with every new stat that I learn. Brent Rooker also leading in isolated power, extra base hits. My pick. It's going to be a very close race, I believe, between Aaron Judge and Brent Rooker for the MVP in the American League. And let's look at hitters in. You know what? Let's look at pitchers. Yeah, you know what? Let's do it this way. Let's look at hitters in the National League now. Let's stay on hitting. Freddie Freeman leading the league with a 317, leading the whole of major leagues with 317 batting average. Schwarber also over 50 home runs, just like Rooker in the AL, 52. Great season there from him. Ohtani, 121 RBI. He's always up there for MVP discussions. He's also leading in WAR, of course. And he's second in OPS behind Schwarber, who had his OPS boosted by all of those home runs. Nobody over 600, nobody over 1,000 in the National League. Edwards leading the NL in hits. Not terribly surprising. He's a great bat-to-ball guy. And so many other categories that Ohtani led in. Hard to see him not being the MVP. Schwarber might have a little bit of a case, but I think Ohtani will probably take that one home pretty safely after a season like that. Now let's look at pitching leaders in the American League. Hunter Brown leading the league with a 2.86 ERA. So, I mean, yeah, it seemed like there maybe is a little higher of a run environment with the league moving the mound down last year, but not terribly. But yeah, you don't have anybody in the 2-1s and the 2-2s. You don't have any starters way down there. But Grayson Rodriguez, second place in the whole league. You also see Tariq Skubal, Carlos Rodon on there. And you see the Red Sox leading in a bunch of different categories. Only one shutout. Nobody had more than one shutout this year. Duran leading in saves. Garrett Crochet also leading in strikeouts per 9. That's another notch in the Red Sox rotations belt. You also see the Red Sox on the FIP charts. Grayson Rodriguez also up there. You see Grayson Rodriguez leading in lots of places. He should get some Cy Young consideration, but I very much doubt he will win the award. And in the National League, Clark Schmidt leading the league in ERA for the Mets. 19 wins for Roki Sasaki. I do see Ohtani on some of the leaderboards. Once again, only one shutout leading. Zach Wheeler leading in pitching WAR. Having another great season. I remember him being up there in a lot of the rankings last year in the NL. Hunter Green once again leading in strikeouts per. That's not surprising. Zach Wheeler leading in FIP. So it's going to be Hunter Green and Zach Wheeler and maybe a little bit of Clark Schmidt. It's going to be a very interesting Cy Young race. As Thomas Suzuki, who he attempted to trade for at the deadline, leads the entire National League in hitter batting average against. And how's that for a wild card series? We are going to play the winner of Yankees Red Sox, so it's there's a pretty good possibility we haven't seen the last of Boston. But we are the number 1 seed. The number 2 seed is the Detroit Tigers, to the surprise of no one. They will play the winner of Mariners Rangers, and we're gonna find out a lot about that Red Sox Mariners trade, that big Red Sox Mariners blockbuster who really came out ahead. It seems like the Mariners obviously got the better side of that deal, but The Red Sox can prove them wrong by going on a playoff run. And in the National League side, the Dodgers, the upstart Marlins, Augustine Sanchez obviously having a wonderful success for them. Augustine Ramirez, rather. A fun young little team that's managed to make the playoffs with a very good bullpen, obviously as well. But an 88 win season for the Marlins is very impressive. Let's see if they can beat the Phillies. And then the Diamondbacks, who made a lot of moves at the deadline with us, playing the Reds, who were a success story last year against the obviously big money, big budget New York Mets. All right, so let's get it started with the wild card round. Game 1 today in Boston, Fried versus Crochet. And the Yankees blow out the Red Sox 15-4. A home run from Cedric Mullins is like a tree falling in the forest. Crochet, giving up 5 runs in 2 2/3. Max Fried with 5 1/3 and 9 strikeouts. Trent Grisham, player of the game, with 5 RBI. Only 2 hits with 5 RBI. He hit 2 home runs. So a big game for Trent Grisham out of the 9-hole for the Yankees. And it's a 1-0 series lead. Seattle defeats Texas 4-2 in a much more low-scoring affair. Logan Gilbert defeats Kumar Rocker. Ryan O'Hearn and Evan Carter go deep for the Rangers in the victory. And just like that, the Red Sox season is over. We knocked them out of the division race, and the Yankees knocked them out of the playoffs in the wild card series 2-0. The Red Sox barely had anything to say back to the Yankees there. 15-4 and 7-1. They got outscored 22-5 in the 2 games. I believe in Boston, at home. The Yankees come to Fenway Park and in 2 games outscore the Red Sox, who finished 3 games ahead of them in the standings. They outscore them 22-5. That is incredible stuff from the Yankees. And I'm not looking forward to playing the exact same team that knocked us out last year. No, I'm not. We might give them a better 5-game series this year, but it's going to be a rematch. We're going to get a chance for revenge. That's what that means. And Seattle and Texas and the Rangers, this time the home runs count as they get the win. And in the National League, the Marlins upset the Phillies in Game 1. And the Reds beat the Diamondbacks in a close Game 1. Danny Naranjo gets the win. I guess that's a reliever. Who started for them? Hunter Green. That's right, of course. Hunter Green, the Cincinnati ace, against Corbin Burns, Arizona's ace. Who is going to win this Seattle-Texas series? It is Texas, as it's going to be Texas versus Detroit. And, Miami knocks out Philly. Wow. Okay, 1 second. As Texas defeats the Mariners 6-4, Tristan Casas with 2 home runs for the Mariners, as the Red Sox are no longer in the playoffs. I wonder what move they possibly could have made to make that a reality. The Phillies lay an egg against the Marlins in Game 2. Max Meyer pitches a shutout, and the Marlins advance to the division series. And the Reds, but it's Gavin Lux 3 for 6, Stevenson with 3 RBI, and just a good all-around offensive effort from the Cincinnati Reds, who outplay the Arizona Diamondbacks. It seems like they do have a little bit better and a little bit younger of a team. But that does it for the wild card round, and I was dreading playing the Yankees, but that is our reality now. We are facing down the New York Yankees in round 1, and we are going to get to exercise the demons of last year with what I hope is a much better team, and a team that I think matches up much better to the Yankees. I would definitely favor us in this series, to be honest, going into the playoffs. We're very hot. We're the top offense in the league. It'll be interesting to see how we handle the Yankees, and we're going to do a preview of this matchup here when I get back. So we are first in the AL in runs and 4th in runs against. They are 4th in runs scored and 7th in runs against, and we were 10-3 against them this year. We have home field advantage, and they are a much worse team on the road than we are. We were 48-33 on the road, which bodes well for our fate in the Bronx, and they were 38-43 on the road. And you have to figure they're a team that struggles at a ballpark like ours with a very deep right field, with them probably having a lot of righty power. Spencer Jones, Aaron Judge, Jazz Chisholm, Paul Goldschmidt, Giancarlo Stanton. But we've done an effective job, at least in 27 plate appearances. Aaron Judge is only hitting 148 against us, so that probably goes a long way in why we were 10-3 against the Yankees. Hopefully, the playoff matchup goes as well as it did during the regular season. I like the Game 1 matchup of Grayson Rodriguez versus Chris Bubich. Let's get into it. and try to unseat the Yankees and, like I said, exercise those demons of yesteryear. So it's going to be Holiday, Henderson, Mayo, Basallo, Tucker, O'Neill, Encarnacion, Strand, Cowser, and Rutschman. As our starting lineup, Grayson Rodriguez on the mound on a hot streak versus the Yankees, Anthony Volpe, Austin Wells, Aaron Judge, Paul Goldschmidt at first, Jazz Chisholm at second, Stanton, Bellinger, Peraza at third, and Trent Grisham in center field. Gunnar Henderson launches one deep out to right field, and that ball is gone. A no-doubter. Gunnar Henderson with the first home run of the postseason, his first home run of the postseason, 376 feet into the Baltimore night. And the Orioles have a 1-0 lead here in the bottom of the first. That is just how we wanted to start it, with Gunnar Henderson in the 2-hole. Top of the third, up comes Trent Grisham, who hit 2 home runs against Boston in the wild card, and he drives one into the gap. It's the third double of the game for the Yankees. The throw comes into second, not on time. And Trent Grisham with a double. Volpe, a 2-strike count, struck him out. Another strikeout for Grayson Rodriguez. Austin Wells, the dangerous lefty, 3-2 pitch. He walked him. And we're going to have to go to double play depth here against Aaron Judge, and you know we're pitching around him. The 3-2 pitch. He drives it. It's a line drive base hit, and that's going to load the bases, as the runner is not going to try to come in to score. We're going to keep it on double play depth. Paul Goldschmidt is always a double play threat. Grayson Rodriguez here on 54 pitches. I think I am going to warm somebody up. Let's warm up David Festa. That's sort of our long relief, get out of a jam guy. And we're going to go to double play depth. The 1-0 pitch, I don't like that. And that's a line drive, base hit. 1 run scores, 2 run score. And the Yankees. And Goldschmidt goes all the way to second. So it's second and third. It's effectively a double, and it's 2-1 Yankees. We're going to play the infield in here for Chisholm. And it's another base hit. And Grayson Rodriguez is getting hit around here. And the Yankees continue to hit, just like they did off the Red Sox in the wild card series. They're hitting us just as hard so far. I don't know if I go to Festa now and try to stop it from getting out of hand. I think we can get Stanton. An 0-2 pitch. Lofted out to left field. That could be a sac fly. The throw comes home. The runner doesn't test it. Chisholm stays, or Goldschmidt rather, stays at third. And let's have Rodriguez try to get the last out here against Bellinger. The 2-2 pitch. That's a line drive and a base hit, and it's 4-1. I may have made a mistake there. Chisholm racing to third, and he's in there. And it's a 4-1 Yankee lead. David Festa is still not ready for some reason. And it's a bad start for Grayson Rodriguez. A disappointing start to start the postseason. We're going to have to hit our way out of this one. And that ball gets away. And another run is going to score. Ball gets away from the normally sure-handed Adley Rutschman, and it's a 5-1 deficit for Baltimore. Everything is going all wrong here to start the playoffs for us. That ball's ripped into center field. That thing looks gone to me, and it is gone. It's a 2-run home run. Oswald Peraza, of all people, and it's 7-1 Yankees. Cowser out to deep center. No. Grisham catches it on the warning track. Rutschman drives one out to right, and that's caught. So nothing doing for us in that inning. Kyle Tucker here to start the 7th inning. And that's an error by the second baseman. I believe that's Chisholm. And Tucker is now at first with nobody out. So again, we have to start a big rally here to get back in this game. And O'Neill striking out will not help us. Marcus Stroman now out of the bullpen to face Encarnacion Strand. And Strand absolutely crushes that pitch out towards the warehouse. And that's a long home run for Christian Encarnacion Strand. 382 feet to right field. And it's a 4-run Yankee lead now. And we are back within a grand slam. You can't quite call it a ball game yet. You can't quite call it close yet. But we're creeping back. And don't sleep on the job that our bullpen has done to keep us in this game, as they just get Cowser there at first base. And Fairbanks gives up a hit, but he gets through that inning, and the Yankees bring on Raciel Iglesias to face the top of our very dangerous order. Do we have more in us? Do the Orioles have more offense in them this game? Jackson Holliday strikes out. Henderson with the homer earlier. Soft grounder to second base. And the fat lady is warming up here in game one. Mayo drives it out to left, but it's going to be caught by Bellinger. And Basallo hits a line drive towards the gap. Volpe makes a diving play on it. Tucker with 2 strikes strikes out. And this is a very bleak, depressing end to game one, as the Orioles are going to fall 7-3 to the New York Yankees. And I am far from happy with that effort. It was a very bad start from Grayson Rodriguez, but we also didn't hit particularly well. Gunnar Henderson seemingly set the table with a home run in the first, but other than the Encarnacion Strand home run in the 7th to bring us back to within 4, we didn't get any other action at all out of our offense. And a Chris Bubich player of the game is far from what I wanted to start our playoff series here. When I saw Chris Bubich, I mean, we just got one of the easiest parts of the Yankee rotation thrown at us to start the series, and we blew it. So, inauspicious, to say the least. And Detroit defends their home field in game one behind the arm of Tariq Skubal, a 9-5 victory over the Rangers. As speaking of aces, here comes Garrett Cole for the Yankees here in game 2 against Nathan Eovaldi. So it's a battle of the aces, probably the biggest pitching matchup of the whole series. And we're going to switch this lineup around a little bit. I am going to keep Yandy Diaz in the lineup. I want to give him a chance. You know what? Strand had a big game. We're going to keep him. Never mind. He one of the only guys who did anything in that game. We'll move him up to the 6 hole. Wasn't very impressed with O'Neill. We'll have Cowser 8th, Rutschman 9th. And I'm going to move Kyle Tucker to the 3 hole, Kobe Mayo 4, and Basallo 5. We'll try that. Just shake up the middle of the order a little bit. Try to get the middle of the order producing runs. And here we go for game 2. This is the biggest game of the series. Eovaldi. Ooh, and we double Austin Wells off first. Judge with a line drive to short after Wells was hit by a pitch, and they double Wells off of first in the first inning, and the Orioles come up in the bottom of the frame against Garrett Cole, Jackson Holliday. How will we start off? Last game, we had a good start with that Henderson homer. What will happen in the first inning this time? Holliday with a 372 average against the Yankees this year, and it's another hit for Jackson. And that's a good start to proceedings as the crowd is on their feet. And Henderson knocks right into a double play. How about that? Oh, did he beat it out at first? He did. Okay. So it's effectively just a ground out. I want second base. We're going to send him first. We don't get picked off. I want him to go. I don't care. Use all of your throwovers, Garrett. And there he goes. Wells, no throw. And Gunnar Henderson is in at second base. Kyle Tucker on a 1-1 pitch. Drives one into the gap. It lands in front of the right fielder, Judge. And Henderson will just go to third. Won't test Aaron Judge's arm out and right. But it's Kobe Mayo, first and third, and 1 out. 2 hits in the frame already for the Orioles off Cole. The 2-2 pitch. Mayo, a slow dribbler. The runner doesn't break for home. The throw is made to second, and it's on time. And there's 2 out in the inning. Sam Basallo, the first pitch of the at-bat from Cole. Ripped back to center field, right back where it came from, and the Orioles have a 1-0 lead. Mayo circles the wagons, heads to third, and he's safe. And Grisham is removed from the ballgame on the throw. Sadly for the Yankees, but it's the first run of the game for the Orioles, and we get off to our second first-inning lead in 2 games, and up comes Encarnacion Strand, who was responsible for 2 RBI in yesterday's game. Can he continue that trend? It's a line drive and a base hit. Yes, he can. It's a 2-0 Orioles lead with Encarnacion Strand just muscling up a 1-2 inside pitch down the right field line. It's a really nice piece of hitting from the young righty Encarnacion Strand, and the Orioles have a 2-0 lead. O'Neill high and deep out to center and caught by Grisham. But it's a great first inning, or Dominguez after it. Who was it? Bellinger? 3 different outfielders for the Yankees, I said there. It was Bellinger. It was not Grisham. I think Grisham may be the DH. What is Trent Grisham playing? Oh, Trent Grisham just isn't starting today. Dominguez is in left and Bellinger is in center. Okay. Down the third baseline by Goldschmidt. That should be a double out into that deep left field. Goldschmidt only hitting 132 off Baltimore on the year, but that's a double. Hitting better than that in the playoffs now. And there's a line drive and a base hit, and it might be a run back already for the Yankees. No, Goldschmidt's not going to test it. But the Yankees are already making us sweat a little bit here in the second inning. Line drive, base hit. 1 run scores. The second run's going to attempt to come around, and he scores as well. And the Yankees have tied this game on a single by Cody Bellinger out to right field. We tried to play the outfield in, and it didn't make any difference. And the Yankees strike right back as Oswald Peraza goes down on strikes. And that ball is absolutely crushed by Dominguez, and the Yankees have a 4-2 lead. And once again, our starting pitching has betrayed us. Absolutely horrible scenes here at Camden Yards. Nathan Eovaldi hanging his head out on the mound. 4 runs hung on him by his former team here in the second, and it's not getting any better. That's another bomb by Anthony Volpe. It doesn't quite go over the wall. It hits the top of the wall. That could be a triple for the Yankee shortstop. It is. It's a triple by Volpe. And the Yankee fans in the park are standing in applause. Nathan Eovaldi is just going to have to bask in this at this point. It's still only a 2-run game. We've only had 1 at-bat so far. That's the only positive thing I have to say. So far, we've hit, and then we need to keep hitting if this is how we're going to pitch. Base hit. That's a good start. Colton Cowser gives us a lead-off base runner in what's been an action-packed game 2 so far. Adley Rutschman ahead in the count. It's only a single play. It's not a double play. They get the runner at second base. Jackson Holliday back to the top of the order. And that's another tailor-made double play ball. This time they actually get it. And it's a completely lame second inning for the Orioles, as we give up 4 runs and don't score any. And now Eovaldi facing down Aaron Judge. And that's hit out to center. Cowser can't get there. It's a single for Judge. Big shock. And we're going to have to warm somebody up. Let's do Andrew Heaney. David Festa just pitched, unfortunately. I guess if Heaney gets in big trouble against a righty, we can bring in Festa. Giancarlo Stanton with 2 guys on. There are other people I would pick to be up in this situation, and he doesn't hit the ball that hard. He lofts it out to left, but it lands, and they're going to try to score on it. And it's 5-2. Do we cut the runner off at third? No. They're all safe. And the Yankees have a 5-2 lead on a base hit by Giancarlo Stanton. Oh, no, we did get the runner at third. Okay, we got the runner at third. It's not the end of the world. But Bellinger can hit a home run here and ruin everything, and he does. He does exactly that. That is an absolute tank by Cody Bellinger. Long and high and far into left field. And it's a 7-2 Yankee lead. And I just don't know anymore. I just don't know anymore. Both of our starting pitchers get rocked at home. I mean, this is just brutal. I want to hit Sim to the end of the game. We're definitely going to go by half innings. Show me some runs middle of the lineup. Okay, there's 1 run. Gunnar Henderson with another home run. So Gunnar Henderson is doing his part so far. Gunnar Henderson is the one trying. If you want to look at the guy that Orioles fans aren't complaining about on the internet, it's Gunnar Henderson. But right now, this playoff series seems eerily similar to many of recent Baltimore Orioles' real postseason exploits. Jorge Lopez entering the game out of the Yankee bullpen with a 7 ERA. Maybe giving us another glimmer of hope, but it's a 1-2-3 inning for the Orioles. And there's an error, and we're just washed. This is an L. 2 guys on, Andrew Heaney under pressure. I don't really even see a pitcher in the bullpen I particularly want to use for a lot of innings. I think Andrew Heaney might just have to stick this out, and he gets out of it. He gets out of it. Okay. And we can still dream of a big inning here We were the #1 offense in the league in the regular season. I haven't seen it so far, and it's another double play. Yeah, we haven't seen that we were the best offense yeah, we wouldn't have made the playoffs if we hit like this the whole season. Double play machine. Tucker must have got a hit, but then we got out. Because I hit half inning and we added another hit to the board. No one cares. I only care about that ridiculous double play, man. I can't what the double play is. It's so bad. We get any base runner. We have to hit doubles. We have to get on second base because when we get on first base, we hit into a double play immediately after. We have to hit doubles. We have to hit home runs. What other choice do we have? We have the same amount of hits as the Yankees do. They're hitting the ball in the gap and over the fence, and we're hitting singles and double plays. That's the story of the game. David Festa. Nothing. Good. Basallo. If you guys hit into another double play this inning, the save is over. Base hit for Basallo, setting up the next double play. Perfect. Prove to me you're not going to hit into a double play. Go ahead. Don't. Striking out is better. I'm better than hitting into a double play. O'Neal. Driven out to center field. That's a fly out to center, but that's also not a double play, so I'm cool with that. Cowser on a 2-2 pitch. Well, that would have been a double play if there was one out, but you're trying. I'm ready for another half inning of frustration here from our offense. There's a walk again. Gunnar Henderson, the only guy trying. Base hit. It's more success from Gunnar. And we are one base runner away from bringing the tying run to the plate. It's almost like we're like a factor in this series or something. No, never mind. There's another tailor-made double play ball. Oh, no. Okay, they only get one out. And Kobe Mayo, I really want you to get on base. A 2-0 pitch. That ball is absolutely slaughtered. If that ball isn't gone, and it's not. That ball looked completely gone off the bat. That looked like a 500-foot moonshot, 130-mile-an-hour exit velo off the bat, and then Dominguez just stands there and it just lofts into his glove. Go Orioles. Experience Orioles baseball. Experience Orioles baseball, man. And there's a base hit up the middle. Basallo leading off the inning with a single. Encarnacion Strand on a 2-2 pitch. There's strike 3. O'Neal on a 3-2 pitch. There's strike 3. So we get a leadoff base runner and then start striking out. Great. Colton Cowser. And that ball is snagged up the middle and then thrown away. And it's going to be second and third. Uh-oh. Volpe with an error at short. And it's second and third for the Orioles. Bottom of the 8th. Adley Rutschman. The 2-0 pitch to Rutschman. Driven to center. Right at Goldschmidt, who drops it. He dropped the ball, just like Aaron Judge last year in center field. He drops the routine fly ball in center. And it's 7-5. The Orioles scored 2 runs on the 2-out error from Cody Bellinger, and they're right back in this thing. We got to get our big boys up in the bullpen. Bautista's going to pitch this next inning. You kidding me? Jackson Holiday. If he ties this game right now, he pops up to third. Well, that was wonderful. That was an amazing moment. I have expected him to drop that pop-up too. What an error from Cody Bellinger. About to spike his glove in the dugout. Cody Bellinger is just absolutely as steaming mad as he could possibly be. Which may not be that mad. Strike 3. Bautista doing good work so far. Is he about to strike out the side? Yes, sir. What a way to go into the 9th. Let's complete this comeback. I feel like the Yankees haven't had a hit in a very long time. They've been at 8 hits for most of the game, I feel like. And we're at 11 with that huge error. It's Edwin Diaz out of the Yankees pen. Da 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 da. Gunnar Henderson. Can we get a leadoff base runner? Out to left, and that's the first out of the 9th inning. Tucker, 2-0 pitch ahead in the count. Ground out to shortstop. That's what you do with those 2-0 pitches. Yep, you get up 2-0 in the count. That's why you do it. That's why you get a big advantage in the count, so you can hit another ground ball to shortstop. How do we have 5 runs and 11 hits when we've done nothing but hit ground outs to the shortstop and second baseman? I have no clue. You tell me, right? Because all I've watched this team do this whole series is hit into double plays. And the offense that I put together as the GM is so competent that we've actually managed to score 5 runs on 11 hits, doing nothing but grounding out to the shortstop and striking out. Kobe Mayo strikes out. The Yankees take a 2-0 lead. Maybe if our starting pitching wasn't absolute garbage, all that work that OBS didn't record in the last episode that I did to fix this pitching rotation, and it just means nothing. Cody Bellinger, yeah, he had that error, but he's hitting 611, and he had 4 RBI. He's torturing us. And the Yankees are well on their way to knocking us out of the playoffs for a second straight season. We got Cole out of there in 3.2 innings. Once again, our offense proving that it's actually capable, but our pitching has absolutely let us down. And Jason Dominguez right here says, we're not going to sweep them. Baltimore's too good to not take a game somewhere. I don't know about that, Jason. Luck matters. Luck definitely matters, and we aren't getting too much of that right now. 14 runs in 2 games. The Yankees do their job and just put up 7. And the Marlins take the first game against the Dodgers. Robbie Snelling. Actually, the starter was Brian Mendoza. 22-year-old Brian Mendoza beats Yoshinobu Yamamoto. Who are these players? 22-year-old Justin Crawford with 3 hits. You ever heard of Jack Brannigan where he went 3 for 3? And 32-year-old Ramon Laureano, former Oriole, who we let go of, with 2 hits. And this Marlins team has given me all the entertainment I needed. Is there another person in my save playing as the Marlins right now? They're having a lot of fun as the Mets take the first game over the Reds. And unsurprisingly, the Dodgers take the next game. It's an easy 7-1 win for Los Angeles. And the Mets also, perhaps unsurprisingly, take a 2-0 lead on the Reds. And let's see if we can mount the impossible 2-0 comeback here against the Yankees. It's going to start with our big money starter, Dylan Cease. The Yankees think they can do big money starters. So can we. And we're going to hope that this big money, big talent offense can actually flex its muscles here for the first time so far in the playoffs. Gunnar Henderson has been tremendous out of the 2-hole, but no one out of the 3-hole has worked so far. So we're going to try our third person in that spot in as many games as we're going to move Sam Basallo up there. Kobe Mayo is going to clean up, and Kyle Tucker is going to find himself in the 5-hole. You know what? Nah, this is an elimination game. Kyle Tucker's sitting third. This is an elimination game. And I'm going to move Adley Rutschman up. I'm going to move Basallo. Basallo's still a good hitter. I'm going to have him above Rutschman. But it's going to be Holiday, Henderson, Tucker, Mayo, Basallo, Rutschman, Basallo at DH. Basallo, Rutschman, O'Neill, Cowser. And let's have Christian Encarnacion Strand at first. I want my strongest lineup, and I don't mind him hitting 9th. Dylan Cease versus Carlos Rodon, who has been excellent recently, and a Yankees offense that has absolutely put fear into me. Cody Bellinger looming down there on the 7-hole, and Aaron Judge, of course, in the 3-hole, who suspiciously hasn't hurt us yet. And here we go for Game 3. If a historic comeback is on the cards, it starts right now. Basallo on a 1-1 pitch. Can he get to Rodon? It's a little nubber, and it's a base hit. Low exit velo, but it knuckles its way through the infield. That's a line drive base hit for Basallo. Adley Rutschman on a 3-2 pitch. That's a line drive base hit. We have 2 men on now. Here in the top of the second off Carlos Rodon. Tyler O'Neill stepping into the box. He drives one. That one's going to drop. And the bases are loaded with Orioles. Oh no, Basallo heading home, and he's safe. And the Orioles take a 1-0 lead here in the top of the second. It remains first and second. But the run is now in. Colton Cowser up with 1 out on a 2-2 pitch. He struck him out. Nice slider there from Rodon. And Encarnacion Strand. And it's a breaking ball. Just nips the outside corner. And Encarnacion Strand is down looking. But it's a run in the second inning for the Baltimore Orioles, who take a lead. I was going to say after the first inning, maybe this is turning into a pitcher's duel, and I was afraid to say it because I was afraid we were going to give up runs, but it has turned into a bit of a pitcher's duel. As we get a base runner there in Rutschman, and then down goes O'Neill. Cowser, a 2-strike pitch. That's another strikeout, and Rodon is just ringing up the Ks. Austin Wells just tied this baseball game. That was a long home run into the bullpen. And that's far from surprising. Breaking news, Yankees hit home run, and it's a 1-1 game. Up comes Aaron Judge, speaking of home runs, the 1-2 pitch. And that's just going to be a pop-up. Holiday on a 1-2 pitch. It's the 9th strikeout for Carlos Rodon. Gunnar Henderson probably about to become victim number 10. No, he lofts a base hit to center field, and we've got something going. We're definitely sending him. We are definitely sending him Forrest. You are going to second base. And he is off and running. The throw to second base. He is safe. Henderson steals the base, and Kyle Tucker's going to have a chance to drive in a run. He walks. Curveball in the dirt for Rodon, and they didn't like that. They're going to bring in Ian Hamilton. I'd honestly rather face Ian Hamilton than Rodon. Colby Mayo. An empty count. 2 guys on base. Into the gap. Is it going to be caught by Bellinger? Yes, it is. And the Orioles cannot come through with runners in scoring position. And the Yankees do have a good bullpen, but their starting rotation is special. And it's good to get through Adonis. That looks like another home run. And we give up the lead. Trent Grisham out to right field, and it's more solo home run ball from the Yankees. It's not surprising the second time through the order to give up a couple dingers. It's Dylan Cease on 82 pitches, and we are going to absolutely get up. I would say Brock Stewart here. We just want a real good pitcher here for the third time through the order. And we don't want to have to face the middle of this order another time. Wells, he didn't get all of it. It's going to be caught out in center field, fortunately. And we don't have to face Judge in this inning. And we keep it a 1-run New York lead. And we're going to be able to go to our bullpen next inning safely. That ball is shredded down the line. He got way on top of that one and way out in front of it. But he rips it out into the left field corner. And that's a double for Samuel Basallo, the AL batting average leader. Adley Rutschman looking to drive him in. Lofts one out to center. That's not going to get it done. It's Grisham in the gap, and we're not going to go there. O'Neill on a full count. Walks. First and second. Couple guys out there to drive in for Colton Cowser, who hits one the other way. It's not caught. Bellinger dives and can't make the play. 1 run is going to score. Is a second run going to score? O'Neill, yes, he scores, and the Orioles take a 3-2 lead here in the 6th on a double down the left field line by Colton Cowser. What a piece of hitting to the opposite field, and the Orioles have a lead off the Yankee bullpen. Ian Hamilton surrenders Carlos Rodon's lead, and that's a line drive and a base hit up the middle. Around third is Cowser, and Cowser is in there safe, and the Orioles have a 4-2 lead. As Holiday swings and misses. Can Henderson expand the lead even more? He's going to ground one out to the pitcher, but I am ecstatic with that inning of work we just did off Ian Hamilton. We finally get the rally that we needed. It wasn't on home runs, it was actually just hits. And that big double by Colton Cowser puts a dent in the Yankees' hopes to sweep us out of the playoffs. As we're finally giving a decent account of ourselves here in this postseason. Out of the bullpen comes Brock Stewart to face the dangerous Aaron Judge. It's a ground ball to short for the first out. Stewart now against Goldschmidt. Strikes out Goldschmidt. And Chisholm lines out to center field. It's a diving play by Colton Cowser. After that double, decides to add on a diving catch, and Cowser making his case for player of the game here in this crucial Game 3 for the Orioles. And Brock Stewart continuing to mow down Yankees, getting Stanton and Bellinger in a row here to start the 7th inning. And he strikes out Peraza as well. An impressive 2 innings of work there. Line drive base hit. Trent Grisham with a good start to the inning against Bednar. We're still at double play depth against Volpe, and the first pitch gets away. And it's just little mistakes. It doesn't really mean anything. I mean, it takes the double play off the board. Now it's back on the board because we walked Volpe, and I am going to get up Bautista for a 6-out save, which I'm afraid might have to be a 6-out save after whatever is about to happen happens. Back to double play depth for Austin Wells. The 2-2 pitch. Lined into the gap. It's down. That should score a run. It does score a run. And it's first and second for the Yankees with nobody out and Aaron Judge up at the plate. And I don't think... Okay, Felix Bautista is ready. Thank goodness for that. David Bednar, who we traded for at the deadline, with an awful appearance here against the middle of the Yankees order in his only playoff appearance. How's that for a trade deadline deal? And Bautista, who's been here the whole time, is going to have to bail us out against the mighty Aaron Judge, who only hit 44 home runs this year. He didn't even have 100 RBI. Double play depth, and I mean the outfield has got to be somewhat deep. No. All right, Felix, what you got for me? 2-2 pitch. The 2-2 from Bautista, grounded to second base, and it is a quick double play. Oh, man. How you like that? Judge grounds right into a double play. You live by the double play, you die by the double play. And off the bench to pinch hit with his 75 power rating is Ben Rice. Here off Bautista. The 2-2 pitch to Rice. Ground ball, second base. What a catch! Let's go. What a play by Jackson Holliday at second base to end this inning. And I keep saying the Yankees. I'm a Yankee fan in real life. The Orioles hold on to their 1-run lead. I'm giving polite little golf claps. I'll do it closer to the mic. There you go. We're clapping loud. As the Orioles have a 1-run lead here heading into the top of the ninth against the Yankees. And it's a listless attempt from the Orioles to add any insurance here. Miles Michaelis strikes out the side. So no attempt from Baltimore to add to this lead. But it's going to be Felix Bautista and Pete Fairbanks and Keegan Aiken warming up in the bullpen. And Bautista still on the mound after an impressive Houdini job in last inning, including that double play. And there's a strikeout. He disposes of Chisholm. Dominguez, who had a big home run. A 2-2 pitch. That ball is also a big home run, it looks like. I can't see it from this angle, but yes, it is. And this game is tied. Jason Dominguez, after his big home run yesterday, Dominguez ties this game, and the Bronx crowd is rocking, and the Yankees have a chance to hit themselves into the American League Championship Series now with one more big swing of the bat off Felix. And there's a strikeout. And now Oswald Peraza, who has hit a home run in this series. I'm just going to put Fairbanks in now. I'm going to sit down Keegan Aiken. That's an unfortunate blown save there for Bautista, a rough blown save, and a 6-out save where he entered with multiple men on base. I can't really blame him. We did a horrible job trying to add insurance there in the top of the ninth. And Peraza hits a ground ball to the shortstop. Henderson doesn't even throw. And here comes Grisham, a ball in the gap. Can end the Orioles season. It's a ground out to third base. Are we going to actually make the throw? We do. And we've got extra baseball here in Game 3. Sam Basallo with 2 outs. Walks. So that could be the start of something. Adley Rutschman on a 2-strike pitch. It gets away and Basallo advances to second. And now I actually am going to pinch run for him. Ronnie Mauricio is going to come in and take over as the pinch runner and as the designated hitter for now. So we can have someone faster on second base. Rutschman on the 3-2 count. It's lofted out to left, and it's caught by Bellinger. And the Yankees head to the bottom of the 10th with a chance to walk off the Baltimore Orioles once again and end their season. As this Yankees offense has just whittled through our pitching staff slowly. We've managed to keep them slightly more off the board than in the last few games, but Dominguez and Bellinger especially have just put us to the sword here. Wells hasn't helped either, but we get him that time. And let's switch to Jared Koenig. You know what? No, I'm going to keep in Fairbanks against the righty Judge. We're going to pitch around Judge, though. The 3-2 pitch to the big Yankee righty is grounded back to the mound. Fairbanks gets out of the 10th, and we head to the 11th inning of Game 3. The 3-1 from Rodriguez. There's ball 4, and we have a base runner here in the 11th inning. Hit it in the form of Colton Cowser. Encarnacion Strand is going to swing away here. 3-2 count. It's a ground out to second base, and that is a double play as Christian Encarnacion Strand wraps into the 4-6-3, and the top of the 11th is over, and it's more double plays from the Orioles. And Ben Rice walks on 4 pitches, so we're going to get somebody up in the bullpen. Keegan Aiken is apparently ready to go. We'll just warm up Andrew Heaney and see if Keegan Aiken remains ready. I am not optimistic about this inning right now. Chisholm on a 3-2 count. That's going to be a base hit, first and second. And he's got to face 3 batters. And of course, it's Jason Dominguez. The 0-0 pitch. I don't like that at all. He's attacking. And he is attacking. It's a line drive base hit, and the New York Yankees are going to move on to the American League Championship Series. Jason Dominguez. Doom, thy name is Jason Dominguez. Man, oh man. The Yankees' Dominican superstar and switch hitter literally puts the Baltimore Orioles in a coffin here in 2026. And that is how the Orioles' 2026 season comes to an end. A sweep at the hands of the third-place Yankees. I guess they saved it for the playoffs. Dylan Cease, not too bad of a performance. Gave up a couple home runs. Jared Koenig gets roughed up out of the bullpen, but honestly, by the time it came to that inning, it felt inevitable. It felt inevitable from the time that Dominguez hit that home run, and striking out the side there in the 9th inning was an underrated job there for Miles Michaelis to strike out the side. Miles Michaelis, 38-year-old Miles Michaelis, basically struck out the middle of our order when we had a chance to get insurance runs there in that 9th inning. And then Jason Dominguez comes up and ties the game. And let's be honest, it was over right there. But a great regular season for the Orioles and a painfully forgettable playoff experience. Yet again, it's another division series falter to the New York Yankees, this time in only 3 games, and this time with home field advantage. Shameless. Something's got to change in Baltimore. Something's got to change right now with this save. I thought I did a great job assembling a championship-level roster, and the damn Yankees. All I got to say, the damn Yankees. And after that disheartening defeat, let's watch the rest of the playoffs. I have a feeling I know who's going to win. It was a Subway Series last year. I would favor another Subway Series this year. The Tigers currently have a 2-1 lead on Texas in that close series. They took Game 3 in a close game, 6-5. As we know, the Mets are beating the Reds 2-0 in the Marlins, and the Dodgers are tied at 1. Game 4 in Detroit. We should be playing a Game 4 right now, but we stink, unfortunately. The Tigers knock out the Rangers. A 6-4 win led by Casey Mize. Corey Seager with a home run. It wasn't enough. Will Vest gets his first save, and the Marlins take a 2-1 lead on the Dodgers. As who cared? The Mets sweep the Reds. There we go. We said enough about that. The Marlins take a 2-1 lead on the Dodgers in an 11-10 walk-off victory in Miami, where look at all the pinch hitters they used. Oh, because they're using Ohtani as a pitcher. And I guess he got injured with a sore thumb in the first inning, and they just kept pinch hitting for the slot. Wow. So I think they ended up actually using a pitcher spot in their, like a National League lineup. It certainly seems that way to me. Maybe I don't have the DH rule turned on, but I think, no, I do have the DH rule turned on. I checked in the settings. I think that's just about Ohtani getting injured. I don't think they do that every time Ohtani pitches, or they wouldn't win 106 games. But anyway, it's a 2-1 lead for Miami. They got lucky there with the Ohtani injury in a Yuri Perez game, and it dragged them into a slugfest. It was still Tanner Scott, who's a very good pitcher, that they got the runs off of. So they still had to beat a very good bullpen, and Yuri Perez got the win, but he also blew a save and gave up 2 runs, and Robert Gasser, their starter, was awful. 7 runs in 2 innings, and they still overcame it. Let's look at their box score finally. Xavier Edwards with a 3 for 5. Davison De Los Santos with a 2 for 3. Connor Norby 2 for 5. And Dane Myers 4 for 5. And here comes Jack Brannigan again, 3 for 4. You ever heard of Jack Brannigan? Jack Brannigan is hitting 647 in the playoffs. 647. And it's going to be a game 5 for Miami and Los Angeles. Brian Mendoza versus Yamamoto rematching that game 1. Who will come out on top? And the Miami Marlins knock out the Los Angeles Dodgers. Yamamoto gives up 3 runs. Mendoza gives up 2. None of them earned. The Marlins don't give up an earned run there in game 5. Unbelievable. The Marlins have eliminated the 106 win Dodgers with nothing but the power of friendship. Jack Brannigan with a 478 batting average. Unbelievable. Who was it? Agustin Ramirez, who we've talked about before, with the big home run. And the Marlins knock the Dodgers out. How about that? Look at this playoff tree. The Marlins and the Mets, the Dodgers and the Tigers. The Mets probably thinking they got the easiest assignment of all time. You could expect the Mets to sleep on the Mets to sleep on the Marlins. I almost said the Dodgers. I'm not even used to the Marlins being in the ALCS yet. As the Tigers are able to beat the Yankees. The Tigers seem to be able to keep the Yankees off the board. That's funny. The Yankees win game 2, 7-6, and the Marlins, of course, just keep going. Beat the Mets. Garrett Clevenger. Who cares? 1-0. 1-0. Why not? They hold the Mets to 1 hit. Gasser, Clevenger, Myers, Snelling, and Banks coming together to pitch an absolute gem. What is happening in South Beach? What are the Marlins doing? What kind of devil voodoo magic are they practicing right now to make this happen? It's like 97 and 2003. The inevitable Marlins dominance is the Yankees. In another tight game against the Tigers, the Yankees and the Tigers are playing each other real close, 7-6. And the Mets blow out the Marlins. Game 3, it's the Tigers who beat the Yankees. Again, they keep the Yankees off the board. Chris Bubich, they hit Chris Bubich. We couldn't do that. A little frustrating. And the Marlins take a 2-1 lead on the Mets. 9-3. Clay Holmes gets rocked around. 2 Agustin Ramirez home runs. Do you believe in the Marlins? Could you imagine? And the Tigers with a 3-2 lead. This Yankees-Tigers series is a war. Man, oh man, they're going at it. As the Marlins take a 3-1 lead, 9-8. A crazy game. Dos Santos with 4 RBI. Soto goes 2 for 2. He's got 13 ribbies in the playoffs, but Jack Brannigan has 12. Jack Brannigan with 2 walks. We're comparing Jack Brannigan to Juan Soto. Sean Manaea gives up 6 runs, and the Mets bullpen does not do a good job. You got to imagine there are some angry, angry people on New York sports talk radio the day after that one. And the Mets get knocked out by the Miami Marlins. Robert Gasser once again pieces up the Mets. Another fantastic start from Robert Gasser, who I think did he make 3 starts? It feels like I saw him 3 times in that series. No, only twice, but he got lit up by the Dodgers, but he was fantastic. 11 scoreless innings against the Mets for Robert Gasser. And the Marlins are going to the World Series. They beat the billion-dollar New York Mets in 5 games. And the Yankees are in danger of fully dooming any semblance of a Subway Series reunion. We know now there won't be one at all, but can the Yankees bring any New York flavor to the World Series? No, sir. It's the Tigers and the Marlins. And the league office is in shambles. The ratings diving off the cliff. The small market teams. The Tigers and the Marlins. How about that for a World Series? I'm intrigued. It's going to be a very, very well-pitched series. And let's see if the Marlins magic train goes right off the tracks against a very disciplined and professional-feeling Detroit Tigers team. It's very similar to the team they have in real life. It's not too far off. You have Zach Gallen, Tariq Skubal, and Reese Olson still leading up the rotation. And a great offense. Parker Meadows, Riley Green, Spencer Torkelson, Kerry Carpenter. Lots of guys who can hit the ball over the fence. The Marlins, it's a bit of a tougher case to figure out. I mean, you've got a guy like former Oriole there and Ryan Mountcastle. on the bench. So some veteran presence here actually in the lineup. Lane Thomas as well. Well, he's got a fractured finger and he's out. So they're doing this without Lane Thomas, who's one of their better, more experienced major league bats. But you've got a good young kid in Crawford and, of course, Augustine Ramirez. So it's a fun, gritty Marlins team, if a bit piecemeal. We'll see if Robert Gasser can come out with another ace-like performance. Robert Gasser and who's the other guy? Jack Brannigan and Robert Gasser have become the heroes for the Marlins here in the postseason. And the Tigers beat the Marlins 4-3 in Game 1. Close game. They win Game 2 as well. I would assume these games are in Detroit. They are. So we're going back to Miami. The Marlins are going to get some home cooking. Let's see if they can get a win. It's going to be a tough assignment here against Zach Gallen with an 0.79 ERA here in the postseason. And the Marlins win Game 3. They're still in this thing. 2 RBI for Connor Norby. Jack Brannigan seemed to have cooled off a lot. His batting average all the way down to 367. Colt Keith has been a notable performer here in the playoffs, sitting out of the 3-hole. Man, look at him. He developed. Colt Keith, another 3-hitter for the Tigers, also a big part of their offense in this attempted championship run here that just got another hit. And the Marlins with another win. They're taking care of business at home, and it's Tariq Skubal against Robert Gasser. Man, how about this for a game? It's 2-2. Put your hands in the air. Get ready for the drop. Who's going to win this one? And the Detroit Tigers will eke out a 5-4 win. This is a great World Series. These two teams are playing a fun World Series against one another. Very, very tightly contested. They get to Gasser. They make the Marlins blow through their whole bullpen. Tariq Skubal with a 7-run, 3-inning performance. I believe that is what is referred to as a quality start. And the Tigers take the third game here in Miami and march on home with a chance to take only needing to win one game to secure their first World Series since 1984. Can they do it? Detroit, stand up. I could be one click of a button away from the Tigers being world champions. And the Detroit Tigers are the champions of the world. They defeat the Marlins in 6 games with a 3-1 victory at Comerica Park, a 10 strikeout performance from Reese Olson, and 3 RBI from the man I was just singing the praises of, Colt Keith, who very well may take home World Series MVP. Well, does it say it down here? It does. Colt Keith, World Series MVP for the World Series champion Detroit Tigers, and for the second straight year, to the surprise of, it should be nobody, with how much better the AL was than the NL all year in pretty much all statistical categories. But the champion comes from the American League for the second straight year. And for the second straight year, your Baltimore Orioles lose to the New York Yankees in the playoffs, sadly. That was a fun season. We did much better that season than we did in year 1, as I expected. It just did not go our way in the playoffs. It just didn't go our way in the playoffs when it mattered the most.